Am I the asshole for making my daughter give up her Nintendo Switch after she broke my son's Switch? Throw away as daughter loves browsing Reddit. I have 2 kids, a daughter and my son. They both love Nintendo. My son has a PS4 and a Switch Lite. My daughter has a home console Switch and PC. My daughter is 16 and my son is 14. Today my daughter went into my son's room and grabbed his Switch Lite and took it near the stairs. She tried stealing my son's Pokemon collection in Sword and Shield as their ton of shines. My daughter ended up dropping my son's Switch Lite. My son saved up for his Switch Lite and it fell and broke. I heard the noise and found my Switch Lite and found my daughter there. She was trying to escape. After that I then went into my daughter's room and told her since she destroyed my son's Switch Lite she is going to have to give up her home Switch since she destroyed it. My daughter started screaming at me saying I am a bad parent and I hate her.
Not the asshole. I'm sorry, this is really hard to read. The daughter broke something that the bro saved up for. That's messed up, yo.
Not that it changes the not the asshole verdict, but are you, by any chance, actually the 14-years-old son?
Are you actually the son?
Not the asshole. She broke his property, so she can replace it and save up to get herself a new one. Maybe it'll teach her the value of things, because a Switch isn't a cheap item and is not something you'd hold on top of a staircase. I think all kids need to learn to respect other people's possessions even more than their own, and this will be a fantastic lesson in that. Edit, you should also tell her that she won't be getting her Switch back. Your son lost all of his things because she tried to steal his stuff. Don't forget to tell her that not only is she being punished for breaking his, but also that stealing is part of the reason she's in trouble, and it's a big deal. When I was 16, I thought stealing was funny and ended up in a freaking jail for 4 hours till my mom could pick me up. I wouldn't allow her to get another until she can show some respect for other people's property. Sounds like you're the son as you called it, my Switch Lite, but still, not the asshole. There should be consequences.
Not the asshole. That seems like a fair solution to me. Your daughter needs to learn that her actions have consequences. I'd also tell her she can have it back as soon as she buys her brother a new one. Since she was the one who caused the problem, also make it her responsibility to fix it.
Greater than she tried stealing my son's Pokemon collection in Sword and Shield as their ton of shines. How do you know this?
YTA for this thinly veiled attempt to convince your dad to give your sister's Switch to you. And #X200B. But not the asshole. She broke it. She should replace it long term, and could be made to share while she doesn't replace it.
Are you the son because you said you found your Switch on the ground in the post?
NTA. At 16 she should know better and totally a justified punishment.
YTA for writing the post from your mother's perspective rather than your own.
Not the asshole. Calmly review the situation with her and then ask her what she thinks would be fair here and let her tie herself up in knots. Then, tell her that she needs to replace his Switch with a new one, hers as the stopgap. And then address their stuff generally. It seems to need some adult supervision.
Not the asshole. That sounds quite devious and evil. Honestly, shinies are something really important to Pokémon players. I had a little boy accidentally delete my shiny Lapras and I was devastated. Can't imagine someone going to specifically steal my shinies, which are super hard to obtain on Sword, Shield. She went to do something horrible, and then did something even worse by destroying the whole Switch and likely all the save files. She deserves to never have a Switch again, TBH.
Not the asshole. She's learning there are consequences for her actions. At 16 she should know better already, but she's still got time to learn the lesson. This is appropriate and good parenting in my opinion.
Not the asshole. But I really think it is the son. My Switch slip up and the lack of correct grammar suggests so. But yeah, she broke it, she has to replace it. Quite simple rule of any society.
This is the son, isn't it? Regardless, no, she ruined your Switch, so she should replace it, not the asshole.
Is this the son writing this? I refuse to believe a mother would spell "they're" wrong that many times.
Info. Are you saying she has to give your son her Switch or something along the lines of sell her Switch to pay her brother back? In general, I would say not the asshole because it sounds like you are trying to teach her that you need to pay people back when you break their stuff.
Just give your real pav. Am I the asshole for taking my sister's Switch after she broke mine? Not the asshole though.
Not the asshole, but I think she needs more punishment than just making reparations for the damages she caused. Making her pay for the things she broke on accident is good, but the reason she was in a position to break the switch was that she was attempting to steal something else from her brother. That definitely needs to be addressed.
Not the asshole. Stay in school, kid.
Dropping a switch from 5 feet off the floor is not going to break it.
Op, we know you're the son. Show your parents this post. Your daughter was caught stealing and destroying someone else's property in the attempt. Her switch is now his switch. She needs to take responsibility for her actions, and if she wants to replace her switch she can save up and replace it herself. If you don't comply, I give your son complete authority to key the ever-loving shit out of your car, since respecting other people's property doesn't seem to be a thing in that household anymore. Your call.
Not the asshole. She broke his that he paid for himself, and now she's lost hers. Maybe she should buy him a new one, so she can understand the value of $1.
Yup, at 16 she should know better.
Not the asshole. She was being malicious and broke it, then tried to cover it up. She should have it removed until she purchases her brother a new one.
Not the asshole. She had her own designated system, and broke something her brother saved up for. It only makes sense that her own system would be given as a cost to ruining her brother's Switch, and she attempted to steal his Pokémon collection on the game, which is unfair.
Not the asshole. I'm sure your son was really bummed that happened. Side note, I'm sorry your Switch got broken. As other comments have said, this was clearly not written by the parents. However, not the asshole for taking away the daughter's Switch till she can replace her brother's. Not the asshole. Your daughter deliberately took something that did not belong to her without asking and wrecked it, therefore she loses her Switch.
Not the asshole. Damn, who TF tries to steal shinies, what's the point if you didn't earn them? And those things take hours. I'm doing a challenge on Auras called Professor Oak Challenge, and in more than 40 hours I got 3.
Not the asshole. There is no reason for to have been touching your son's Switch. I would give her the option of replacing his light with another light and let him use hers until she replaces it.
I think you could have handled it differently, but you most certainly are not the asshole.
Not the asshole. She should not have taken it. She will need to figure out a way to buy herself one now.
Attempted theft, the Pokemon, yes, that's a big deal, and destruction of property. Not the asshole. Your daughter has problems. Get professional help. On the off chance that you are the mom, you are the asshole. A Switch is different to a Switch Lite. You also took not just the Switch, but any games and DLC she got from the Nintendo store. You would be not the asshole if you made her pay for a new Switch Lite. If I broke a laptop I wouldn't give somebody a PC, because I didn't break a PC.
Not the asshole. Might I suggest the son gets the home Switch until the daughter saves up to replace the Switch Lite. Once she buys a new Switch Lite and apologizes, she gets her Switch back. First of all, not the asshole. Secondly, either English isn't your first language or you didn't really think about this. I heard the noise and found my Switch Lite, case that you are the brother and not the sister. I have 2 kids, a daughter and my son, second piece of evidence. But your sister should let you use the Switch, especially since you saved up for it.
You are the asshole, for pretending to be the parent rather than yourself. The son. You slipped up and said, my Switch.
Not the asshole. She needs to realize there are consequences to her actions. Additionally, what kind of dynamic do your kids have that your daughter is sneaking into her brother's room and stealing his valuables? I think that needs to be addressed too. Not the asshole. Even if this is actually written by the brother and not the parent, the sister is still ta. She was trying to steal the profits of the son's labor because she's too lazy to acquire shinies herself, and she broke his Switch in the process. Saying people hate her for forcing a consequence of her actions is just her being an overdramatic 16-year-old. Not the asshole. Her brother saved up for it, and unless she gets him a new one, I'd say she give up hers.
Not the asshole at all. She owes him more than that if it broke. Sword and Shield don't have cloud save, so if his Pokémon were in the game and not in Pokémon Home, he lost all of them. Pokémon is my jam, and this really hurt to read. Sad face. Either this is fake or the son wrote it.
Not the asshole. Your daughter should go without a Switch until she pays for replacement from her own money. Chores, savings, birthday money. Whatever. Her poor choices did this. No one else's. Your job is to help her become a functioning, good adult. Sometimes that means you're not as well liked. But you're a parent, not a best pal. You did the right thing.
Not the asshole. Not even close. She's upset she was caught. I bet she wouldn't be so mad if it was the other way around, if her brother broke her switch and he had to give up his. Not the asshole, she's got to replace what she broke.
Not the asshole. I know it hurts, but being hated by your 16-year-old is at some point just part of being a parent. You are teaching her a valuable lesson on taking responsibility for her actions.
Not the asshole. It's what I would have done.
Not the asshole. Her actions have consequences. Your son shouldn't have to go without because she broke his belonging. Even if virtually, she was trying to steal something that wasn't her and destroyed his property in the process.